Okay, so we are going to start with this case for mutual funds using the functionalities of Excel. So in the case that I have given, we have started with a monthly SIP of 10,000. The number of years is 20. The annualized rate for return is 14%. Now, since the SIP is monthly, we need to convert the years and the rate also commensurate to a month. So 20 years will account for 240 months. 14% annualized return will account for 1.17%. 1.17% monthly return. Now let's say I start with the years, months rather. So we have to go from month 1 to month 240. From month 1 to month 240. We start with the opening balance, our SIP deposit, the return that you earn on a monthly basis, and the closing balance. Obviously, when you start with a zero opening balance. The first SIP is 10,000. The return that you're going to earn on the first SIP is nil because the deposits are made at the end of the month. So first month, there is not going to be any return. This becomes your opening for the next month. Next month, again, you make a deposit of 10,000, but this time you will earn return on the opening balance, not the deposit, because the deposit has been made at the end of the month. And again, you will add all these to arrive at the closing balance. Now, I don't want to repeat the exercise, so I do static referencing for my monthly SIP debits and my return calculations. And then I just drag it down and see what is the result I get. You should get 1 crore 30 lakh 11,660 rupees. That should be your closing balance. We can also validate this using the FV function is equal to FV rate. We take the monthly rate. Number of periods is 240. PMT is 10,000. Present value is 0 times 0. See, you're getting the same value. Can you see that? 1 crore 30 lakh 11,660. So we have validated the figure using the FV function also. Now comes the real challenge and the real fun. So there are two learning lessons out of this. One is from an investment perspective. Okay. So you're making just a 10,000, just a 10,000 monthly SIP. 10,000 monthly SIP, moderate return of 14%. Moderate return of 14%, you are building a corpus of not less than 1.3 crores. See, this is the biggest mistake that all of us make. Even I was young, I used to think like this. Whenever we talk about investment, छोड़ो ना हाथ में देखते. This is the mindset we have. And that's not wrong actually. That's That's because people prefer entertainment and spending to have a higher weight because they want to live their life, right? So they want to give a higher weightage to entertainment and spending than to investment. Investment takes a back seat. Now I regret कि अगर मैंने 10,000, 20,000, 25,000 डाला होता, आज की डेट पे मेरे पास अभी जो भी है उससे 4-5 करोड़ रुपए ज्यादा होता. Point, yes or no? Which I never did. Now I didn't do, but I can definitely advise the youth to do. Because you should not make the same mistake that I have done, or many of us would have done. First learning lesson: save first before you spend. Even though this is an Excel age. Second learning lesson: you can build a template. Just change the initial amount. Everything else will change on your own. For example, if I make this 20,000, if I make this 25,000, and आपको पता है last there are some funds which have earned 40%, 50%, 62% return also in the last 2 years. मैं उतना नहीं देता, मैं 14 की जगह सिर्फ 18% करता हूँ. That's it. Can you see what has happened to the corpus? 6 crore rupees. And this is calculation. I am not bluffing anything. It is right in front of me. 6 crores. So I am not wrong when I say that if I would have realized and woken up in time, I would have been 6 crores richer. Agree, yes or no? Okay, that's one point. Now the real challenge comes with step up SIP. So step up SIP is I step it up. उसके लिए I have got a very slightly effective way of handling the situation. So एक तो तरीका है कि आप 12-12 महीने करके 10,000 रखो, फिर 10% बढ़ाओ, फिर 10% बढ़ाओ, ऐसे करके रखो. बट मैं वैसे नहीं करूंगा. What I will do is I will put the years here. Years 1 to 20, right? There are 20 years, isn't it? 20 years. So for these 20 years, I'll create a table. And I will put the SIP amount. First month SIP is how much? उसको भी लिंक करूंगा ताकि अगर मैं वहां चेंज करूं तो ये अपने आप चेंज हो जाए. This is your first month SIP. Next year SIP will be 10,000 into 1 plus 10% annual step up. And इसको मैं नीचे ड्रैग कर दूंगा. So now you know that हर साल में क्या SIP डेबिट होना चाहिए for the 12 months. ये आपको पता है? Now what I will do, I will give a function here. Let's say if it works, step up SIP. Yeah, done. Now look at this. It's done now. If you look at the formula I have given, I'll put the syntax of the formula here. Basically, what I have done, I have put a syntax. We look up month plus 11 by 12. तो पहले महीना में 1 है. So 1 plus 11 is 12. 12 by 12 is 1. तो अगर वो 1 का इंटीजर आता है तो वो VLOOKUP से 1 के कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग का SIP उठाएगा. You know what is VLOOKUP. So based on the result 1, it will pick up the value of the SIP. और अगर एरर आता है, मतलब उसको VLOOKUP में वैल्यू नहीं मिलती है तो एरर हो गया. एरर आता है तो वो पिछला वाला SIP उठाएगा. Understood? So what I have done here, ये देखो इधर. So because of that, what has happened? Look here, for the first 12 months, you can see the SIP is 10,000. उसके बाद 12 months it is 11,000. उसके बाद 12 months it is 12,100. So automatically with this formula, I have automated the step up. Automate हो गया. Clear? Now what has happened is that I can now build the same table with the step up SIP. ये जो टेबल है I can create it with the step up SIP. उसमें मुझे एक ही चेंज करना है, that I will take the SIP from here, from the step up SIP. ठीक है. रिटर्न तो ऐसे भी 0 रहने वाला है. फर्स्ट मंथ में this remains as it is, this remains as it is, and this will again be from my SIP debit, and this will be, the return is the same. So on the opening balance we take this return, and this formula remains the same. I just need to freeze my return and double click. Now look at the impact that SIP has, step up SIP is making to your portfolio. जहां पे 1,30,00,000 जमा हो रहे थे, एनुअल स्टेप अप से 2.5 करोड़ हो गए. सिर्फ 10% एनुअल स्टेप अप, double the amount of investment you will get. Double the amount of corpus you would have bought without step. Without step up, आप 1.3 crores जमा कर पा रहे. With 10% annual step up, you are making 2.5 crore rupees. Double. And this is, mind you, at moderate. And if I change, for example, suppose मैं इसको change कर देता हूँ. सब कुछ अपने आप change हो जाना चाहिए. That's the challenge. Let's see if that happens. Suppose I make this 5,000. 5,000 पे कितना वैल्यू आ रहा है देखो. 65,05,830. I'm just checking it with my previous template to see if it works fine. Yeah, 65,05,830, right? And a step up, देखो यहाँ पे step up की values अपने आप change हो गई, दिख रही है आपको? it has changed on its own. And the annual step up becomes 122.61.606. Let me compare that also. 122.61.606. So I just compared it with my earlier template that I have prepared for my clients. So this is how you compute. So यहाँ पे आपने from an Excel perspective, you learn three things. One, how to populate a table, how to build a semi model kind of a thing, how to use the VLOOKUP function, how to use the error function, and how to build a corpus. Now आप सिर्फ ऊपर independent variables जैसे change करोगे, table अपने आप सब कुछ कर देगा आपके. Everything the table will be able to do on its own. Every year it increases by 10%. So this was basically the mutual fund corpus based on the non-step up and step up cases. So step up, I'll just highlight it separately so that you're able to understand the criticality of this column. So this table on the left is non-step up, the table on the right is step up, and you can see the differences, it almost doubles. And if you want to make it 10,000 also, you can see the impact. If you do it without without step up, you reach 1.3 crores. With step up, you reach more than 2.5 crore rupees. Clear, everybody? And we have made use of all the possible Excel functionalities. Now I'm going to teach you another very interesting thing. And let's see if you are able to get it. There is something called as the developer tab. Can you see here, developer? The developer tab, I am going to put the spinner function here. You know, spinner is like a remote control. This is like a remote control. So in the remote control, I am just going to put the step up value. Current value is 10,000. Please, the current value is 10,000. And I am going to now link this format control. Current value is 10,000. Minimum value is 0. Or let's say minimum value of the SIP is 1,000. Maximum value, let's keep it as 1 lakh. In incremental change, we keep it at 1,000. And this is the cell link. Now what will happen? Okay, it's 30,000 maximum, so we'll keep it 30,000. Now what will happen if I change this remote control? Can you see the number is changing? अभी क्या हुआ, हमने सेट टॉप बॉक्स दिया, सेट टॉप बॉक्स इंस्टॉल कर दिया, लेकिन अभी टीवी को जब तक आप पेयर नहीं करोगे चलेगा नहीं ना रिमोट. So now we have to pair the remote. So what I will do, a smart thing, I will bring this 10,000 from here. Or rather, it should be here. It should be other way around. I should bring this SIP value from here. Now what will happen? Suppose I make this 10,000 ka 11,000. ये अपने आप change हो गया. Step up SIP changes. This changes. This changes. Everything changes on its own. मुझे कुछ करना नहीं है. I make this 12,000. This changes. This changes. This changes. Everything changes. This is called as the spinner functionality. With the help of the spinner, you can also see the sensitivity analysis and see. कई बार होता है ना, लोग पूछते हैं अगर मैं इतना SIP करूंगा तो कितनी वैल्यू आएगी, इतना SIP करूंगा तो कितनी वैल्यू आएगी. So this is that kind of a analysis that you can do. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much. Take care.